So today, my super sisters, we're going to talk about step-up shoes. And the stepping up shoes, sometimes we just actually have to do. You know, you just have to step up. You just have to do what you have to do in order to get through to the next level. And also, you know, like something that kind of challenges us, that pushes us beyond our boundaries. It's kind of like, you know, the stretch shoes that I was talking about, where we have to stretch our boundaries. We have to step out of our comfort zone. It's pretty much the same sort of concept around that. But where there's a level of discomfort involved, and sometimes we have to step up, it's kind of almost like a combination of wearing them with our Xena Warrior shoes. Like we have to do our stand-up in Xena Warrior shoes. Like sometimes you just actually have to step up even though you don't really want to step up, and it's not through obligation, but more about knowing that it's the right thing to do, you know, or you know, even, how do I explain it, where there's actual a requirement even from a societal perspective of you actually doing that. So let me give you some examples. All right, if you are of the 3 hidden shoe types that that every person has in their closet, including yourself, you hopefully will have taken the quiz by now, which is completely free. You can go to the website and it'll be in the link as well. Yeah, you can take the quiz. It's completely free, and it tells you which one you're most likely to be running your whole life from. So these are rote systems that run our everyday life. Every single person has them. Most people don't know they've got them, and it just depends on which pair of shoes you tend to wear. Is it the manager, the firefighter, and then there's a couple of others that we've got, which are the XL and the Self. But that all comes to you in a free PDF if you want it. It can be sent to you. You don't have to have it if you don't want to. But effectively, those first 2 are quite critical. Now, if you are more manager, you're more likely to be the type of person who will want to step up, to want to improve, to want to take yourself to the next level, to be the best version of yourself. Okay, that's, you know, the type of lady that you are. Okay, or gentleman, whatever the case might be. Now, in that instance, stepping up is actually quite natural for you. For, you know, you are more comfortable facing your fears. You are more comfortable embracing something that might even be a little bit risky, but not where it's, you know, it depends on the level of the manager, to be honest, but where you know, you're like, you want to improve, you want to step up, you want to step up your game, you want to, you know, be the better version of yourself. So this, you know, the stepping up shoes will be a great pair of shoes for you to have in your closet, because like you are all about improving, you're all about, you know, taking yourself. So quite often step up shoe wearers are, you know, managers. They are the go-getters of the Enneagram numbers, which I've spoken about before as well. So, you know, you might be a 3, a 1, an 8. You want to, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back to the start of the YouTube channel or look it up in the Facebook group, and this will give you further information about that. And you can do the hashtag, you know, and just do hashtag Enneagram. Will give you an insight around that. But effectively, there's all of this stuff was starting to, you can start bolting together. It's like a little patchwork quilt of how you're made up. And the next step shoes are very comfortable for those, or more comfortable for those, not very comfortable, because sometimes you get to the point where you're like, you know, I'm actually quite nervous about taking the leap of faith into the unknown and stepping up, you know, stretching my boundaries so much that it's like, oh, you know, that's actually a huge step, not just a little step. So, you know, when you're stepping up, it's when taking the next step is a nice, comfortable kind of thing. Those were the pair of shoes that we talked about yesterday. You know, what's the next step? Identifying what those steps are, then taking the step. Now, sometimes, you know, if you've really stepped up, there's a level of discomfort in that, but it's where you embrace the challenge. You're like, I'm gonna have that pair of shoes in my closet for sure, because I know that's going to get me in my shoes on my path going my way, and I know that I want to be the best version of myself possible, you know, and I want to know more about me, and if that's what's going to get me there, then flip, that's what I'm going to do. So stepping up has a level of discomfort, but where you embrace the challenge. Now, if you're more of the reactive type, or maybe you're more like the firefighter, and again, you can take the free quiz, doesn't cost you anything. I'll put the link in for you below. You can go and see which one you are. You're more manager, you're more firefighter. If you're more firefighter, you might be more inclined to go, oh, I'm a bit nervous about taking any next steps, thank you, you know, and stepping up. So the next step might not be very clear for you. You may not even think about what the next steps are, or if you want to take the next steps, you don't know what they are. You're in so much overwhelm. Managers can be very overwhelmed as well, you know, like the go-getter ladies of the world. They can be in so much overwhelm, it's not funny, that they're doing too much. And that's where they tend to spaz. You know, you paralyze yourself by having too much going on, and we do have too much going on. Doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum of this, what shoes you're wearing. As women, I can tell you now, we are doing far too much, in my personal opinion, than we've ever had to do before, and we're just supposed to totally cope and breeze through life, you know, happy, unaffected, looking, you know, like you're coping. A lot of ladies aren't, you know, and you might be, you know, thrown into the firefighter zone of like, oh my gosh, you know, I've got all this crazy stuff going on and I can't even think about. Vicki, you're asking me to step up. Well, sometimes you do have to step up. Sometimes you do have to do what you don't want to do. You know, sometimes you're thrown into a situation where, you know, you wouldn't have wanted to deal with that, but you have to step up. You have to go beyond your comfort zone in order to improve, to get, to create that stability around you, to create that stability within you. It doesn't really matter how, you know, what the actual scenario is. Sometimes you have to just slap those step it up shoes on. You know, you can't just kick them off and go, oh, well, it's not my problem, because eventually it'll come back on you, won't it? So, you know, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to improve. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get your level of stability. You're not going to remove the pain. You're not going to heal unless you step up. And quite often, if you're in the zone of firefighter, that will be tremendously uncomfortable for you. And I do find, dare I say, that, you know, your step up shoes tend to be, I find that firefighters tend to resist wearing these more than the managers. The managers have a natural propensity for taking their game to the next level, wanting to improve themselves, doing whatever it takes to be the best that they can possibly be. Whereas the firefighters are like, you know, that's like uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable. Maybe I'll just stay here, okay? And my encouragement is that you don't do that, because you just don't, there's no growth in that. And as I was saying before, if you know, like we were talking about, you know, those tree roots and shoes. I think I was talking in that video, the root shoes is like, you know, you can create a level of stability by putting your roots and staying, you know, going down deep and getting your stability. But you do need to grow, you know, like everything in life. Tony Robbins even talks about this. He says, you know, like the happiest people are those are the ones that are actually progressing. They're growing. You know, like you look at a seed and you put it in the ground and it naturally grows, doesn't it? That is what we're supposed to do in life. We are supposed to be nurtured. We are supposed to water and nurture it and grow that seed so that it becomes the bush or the tree or the flower or the whatever it is that you want it to be. But it's got to keep on growing. And that's what happens is we get stuck. We get locked up in that fear and these internal programs that run our life that prevent us and sabotage or block us, limit us to be able to be the full potential that we actually are. So when my request to you is, if you're more in that leaning of like, you know, it's too painful, if it's something really serious, go and get the help that you need. I mean, it goes without saying. Or just take these little steps every single day that like I'm doing, not just listening, but actually doing the exercises. So for you, I would be saying, like, what is something, just identify today, what is a step up that you know you should be doing that you know you aren't, okay? And maybe you can do hashtag step up, and then in the comments box below, and just put in there, you know, diet or relationship or whatever it is, so that we can start getting, you don't have to go into detail, just tell me what it is so that I can then, you know, do some videos that will actually help you to get past that block so that you can step up and keep those step up shoes on. So let me know, will you? I'd be really interested to know, you know, step up, and then whatever your challenge is, it might be finances, it might be career, it might be work, it might be, I don't know, you know, whatever it is that's happening for you. And if there's a common thread here, I'll put together some videos, or you know what I'll do, I'm going to be starting something called you know, shoes off what's really going on sessions, and I'll answer those questions perhaps in that would be actually quite a useful way. And then you can get direct, you know, feedback from someone who's trained in all of this, that's going to help you to get unstuck so that you can go to the next level. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. If you did, please will you thumbs up, like, subscribe if you are in YouTube. If you are in Facebook, I'd love you to just comment and just let me know so that I can get some ideas there as well. And yes, guys, you know, please share. This is how, you know, it gets out. So I would really love your help with that, actually. Because we want as many like-minded super soul sisters walking on our path, you know, going the same way, all helping each other. And I appreciate you coming back and congratulate you for taking that next step by listening to this video once again. Well done. Okay, namaste.